Hello guys, in this lecture we will see how we can upload files from the target using our HTTP shell. So let's get started with the client side. And similar to what we have done in the previous TCP socket, I added a new if statement to see if the command was about file transfer. If that was the case, we will split the grab command into two parts. And the second part contains the path of the file that we want to send to the Kali machine. Now after we import the OS library, we will check if the file is in there in the first place. And we're going to do that using the path.exist function. This function will return a false if the file does not exist. And in this case, we will just simply send back to the Kali machine that we are not able to find the file. However, the other scenario, if the file was there. So in case the file was there, we will append / to our URL. And the reason behind that is to distinguish between file transfer and normal command execution. So this will indicate that we will transfer a file and not a normal command output, because both of them use post method to transmit the data. If, for example, if we want to send a file, let's say x.pdf. So request library requires to pass a dictionary of a key and value. So the key can be any string we choose, and the value is the file object that we want to send. So here I created a dictionary that has a key called file string, and the value of this key is the file object. You can think of the key as a tag. So think of the key itself as a tag. And the value of this key is the file object, and the open function will return the file object for us. So next thing to do is to do HTTP post and then pass the URL, and remember the URL has /store appended to the end, and we also pass the dictionary as well. Keep in mind, behind the scene, request library use a special post method called multipart form data to submit or send a file. And that's all what we have to do on the client side. Okay, on the server side, things will get a little bit complicated. So we started with importing a new library called CGI to handle the received file and store it locally. Notice here I have updated the post function. So if we received a post with /store in the URL and the content type was multipart /form data, then this means that we are getting a file from the target and it's not a usual command output. Then we pass the file pointer, the headers, as well as the request method to a field storage class. The returned value of the field storage class is an instance that can be indexed like a Python dictionary, where we do have a key and a corresponding value. Now remember, on the client side, when we submitted the file, we attached a tag called file, and it was this one. So field storage will grab the key and its value, and it will store it in an object called fs. But we are only interested in the value of the file tag or key, which contains the actual file that we have sent. We are interested in the value of that tag or key. So we get the value of the file or tag and store it in fs underscore up. Now once we got that value, we create a placeholder file, which is called place_holder.txt, which is basically just a file to store the received binary. Then inside the placeholder file, we write the received file. Now think of this line as we are reading the incoming file, and on the same time we write the received file in our placeholder. Finally, we exit the function to prevent any conflict or mix-up with non-file transfer post, which are a normal command execution. And that part, it is this one. So this part will handle, to print out the output of the command execution. Okay, let's try and run our scripts. And as usual, we're gonna start with the server side. So the server should be listening, and let's run the client side as well. So here we got our shell. I will do dir, and let's try to grab, as usual, the video.mp4. So let me do that. Grab star video.mp4. Click on enter. We can see writing file, and we can see the placeholder .text has been created on the desktop. So all what we have to do is to do rename and change the format of the original file, which is .mp4. Let's try to open it just to make sure that that transfer has been done successfully, and it looks like it's working fine. Okay, and let me try to grab another file. So let's do grab star image.jpg. Okay, again rename jpg. Okay, let's try to grab a file that doesn't exist. So video.mp4, for example, and we can see not able to find the file. And let's check that the other command execution working fine. So let's see cd, for example. We are on the desktop. And finally is to do the terminate. So terminate, and we can see the script has been terminated successfully on the client side. And as I said, we need to do command and control plus C to terminate on the server side. Okay guys, I hope this lecture has been informative for you, and if you have any questions, please feel free to post them on the question and answer forum. Thanks for watching.